Love you, Dean.
Love you. Dean's over there killing a hood vent cut. We are going to be installing an awesome Pioneer head unit.
Pioneer burned down.
They did.
No, this is fine.
Okay. There you go.
So, they are no longer burned down. And they,
I guess Pioneer in Japan, I guess burnt down.
yeah, they have officially, finally, after a long time, sent their head unit over for Akira's Integra. If you guys haven't seen it.
I thought it was a Civic.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
Like Pulp Fiction.
What's Honda?
This is Akira. This is not Honda.
So,
He's
Indy's going to be walking you through an install, and then I am going to go paint a bash bar.
He is going to go paint a bash bar. So,
Moonwalk out of frame?
yeah, just... There you go. Excellent.
Oh, I just scraped on my shoe.
You did.
No more grips.
So, Akira paid $150 for this from Crutchfield. It came with 2-day free shipping, but it also came with free a radio install kit for the dash and the wiring harness. So he has a Pioneer head unit in here right now. It's Pioneer, right? Yeah, Pioneer head unit in here right now. We're gonna see if we need to adapt this wiring or not. They may have changed the plug style. We don't know yet, but we're gonna go ahead and take the old one out first, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the old Pioneer harness is vaguely different than the new Pioneer harness. If you want to take a look here, the big ports are on opposing sides, so it will not work between. So this is done for our purposes. So we're going to be using our new Pioneer harness and our new little conversion harness, so you don't have to cut the factory stuff up. As to know what wire goes to what, they provide you a fancy little wiring diagram. So we're going to take this up to the garage, put this together, and then come back here to finalize the install. So let's go. Okay, so I've started putting together the harness here, as you can see. We're going to go through the steps here of how to do so you guys know. I am using, let's test this up. I'm using these tiny little crimp guys that are unsheathed, so they stay small. You're going to go ahead and get your crimp. It could be the sheath kind or not, doesn't really matter. But get the crimp in, crimp it down. I usually do 2 spots just to make sure wire's not going to come out.
And then do you tug on it to make sure that...
Usually, yes, with this, it's not too big a deal. But if you were using bigger wires, yes, definitely. This, everything's going to stay together. It's not going to be an issue. I have a little bit of heat shrink here.
And you slide that on before, right?
Before you connect your 2 wires, yes. Otherwise, you're going to be cutting wires to put it back on.
You'll be very mad.
You definitely want to heat shrink your stuff. So, to strip these wires, you can normally use this type of wire stripper. You see it has a little gauge reading in here, and you can set it in there and strip it. I have this lovely thing, so I just do that and it's done.
Yep.
I don't have to mess around with cutting around a bunch of sheathing, which sucks.
Or accidentally cutting the wire.
Or accidentally cutting the wire. That is the nice thing, it doesn't cut any wire. And then we're just going to go ahead and finish our connection. Open this back up.
So are they always color-coded to this level?
When it comes to car audio, yes. When it comes to car audio, everything is very...
foolproof.
Pretty much. You can't, honestly, like, this is one of the easier things to do, unless you're getting into a lot of, like, amplifier work, that type of stuff, because then you're adding a lot of extra stuff. Doing a radio itself, like I said, if you look at this here, this pretty much tells you, A, what everything does, and B, you know to just jump it. You just make the connection complete.
Yeah. And this makes it plug and play for the OEM.
For the OEM plugs, yeah, you don't need to cut the, because that's something that used to happen a lot, was people would cut the other side of this off the car and just wire this into the car. But you eventually run out of wiring, and like, it's a bit silly to think about, but like, this is at least the second head unit we put in this car.
Yep.
Past the stock one. The RX-7's already had like 3, because I think one got stolen, one got lost. I need to put another in it.
Sure.
And like, you know, you don't want to lose all your wires. So whenever you can get a conversion harness, do it. Let me just heat that up. And that's really it. Like, that's all you're going to do for this. So I'm going to go ahead and just connect the rest of these guys up. And like I said, you know, literally you can see you have like purple with a black line, purple, purple with a black line, purple. You just match them up. That's all you got to do with this. So it's really not that difficult, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew kind of how to connect, what to do. So like I said, I'm going to connect the rest of this and then we'll be right back with you. Okay, and this is our completed harness. Once everything's together, I usually zip tie stuff so it doesn't just kind of flail around in the car, but I do like to leave our ground wire free to move because you need to kind of find a spot for this. We already know where this is going because we had a spot from the previous head unit, so we're gonna go put this in now.
Beauty.
Okay, so back at the car, this guy is gonna plug into our factory plug right here. Nice and plugged in. We're gonna route this up through the top here where the head unit's going to sit. We want as much space as we can kind of get before putting it in.
Also, because Bluetooth head units are typically smaller because they don't have a CD, so...
Which is nice, that is a lot smaller. But we need to put our ground in. Like I said, on this particular car, we already had a ground point from the previous install, which is right here. There's a 10mm bolt holding this little frame piece in. So we're just going to put that in here. A note for you, when you're putting this in, make sure to hold the bolt ring thing, because if you don't, as you tighten, it'll start to turn on you. And you want to put it in, you know, the best position for you. As I drop my light, there we go. And just kind of hold it in place as you tighten, so it doesn't move on you. And there we go. So now you see it's still in the same part I wanted it, facing straight up, and it's good to go. Now, before you go through the process of reinstalling everything, test and make sure this is good. If you test and it's not good, and then you put everything back together, you're gonna be real upset. So if I could get your keys from you, and I'll plug this in right here. This little guy right here is for the radio. We don't, or the antenna. We don't need that right now. Or ever, because you don't have an antenna. But I'm gonna go ahead on, and then usually there is a on switch on here. There we go. And there you go.
And we have life.
Yeah, we have life. Everything's doing good. We'll go ahead and select this. Sure, fine. Yep, yep, yep. Great. Yes. Okay, and there we go. So I don't think there's gonna be anything. You don't have a radio, so we can't really test radio, but you're good to go. We'll get this going. We'll let you hear some sound once it's fully installed. Head unit's installed. It makes noise, which is the goal. It has, you know, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, the Android one, I don't know what it's called, but it has all that fun stuff. So there you go, your stuff's installed.
Sick.
One thing to note, these kits, I'm gonna turn that down, these kits, they're never quite what I would consider the best. There's always a little bit of like a gap because they're very universal, they're meant for a lot of stuff. So don't be surprised if this doesn't fit like super perfect, but that's it. That's how you put a radio in, well, in Integra at least, or whatever other car you have potentially. A very basic single DIN radio. So that's going to do it for this video, but make sure to like, subscribe, comment, the stuff, you know, do the stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next video, and we appreciate you.